Hi guys, welcome back to All Things Sex. So today I wanted to talk a bit about HIV because even though we don't hear much about it anymore, it's still out there and people are still getting infected. So in 2019, new HIV infections in straight men in Western Australia exceeded that of gay men for the first time. And although Australia-wide 62% of men who have sex with men, or MSM, contracted HIV, 23% of heterosexual men also contracted it. So HIV is something not only gay men have to think about, HIV is something that all men who are having sex need to think about and protect themselves against. So today I want to talk about a couple of things in relation to HIV. One of them is PrEP, or pre-exposure prophylaxis. And the other one is U equals U, which stands for undetectable equals untransmittable. So let's get started. So who is PrEP for? Basically, if you're having sex without a condom, you should be taking PrEP. There are two ways of taking PrEP, daily or on demand. If you're having lots of sex, so this is the daily method. If you're having lots of sex, or you just want to be protected against HIV without having to anticipate when you next have sex, then daily dosing is the best thing for you to do. But if you're infrequently having sex without condoms, or are planning on maybe a short period of sex without condoms, then maybe on demand would be better for you. Either ways are really effective at preventing catching HIV. If you choose the on-demand method, discuss it with your prescribing GP first, because the timing of your doses is really, really important. Here's how it works. Step 1, you take 2 pills 2 to 24 hours prior to having sex. The longer gap between taking the pill and having sex, the better. Step 2, take 1 pill 24 hours after your first dose. Step 3, take 1 final pill 24 hours after the second dose. But, and there is a but, if you continue to have sex, then take 1 pill daily at the same time until 2 days after your last hookup. If you can't predict when you're going to have sex next, and oftentimes who can, or you can't delay sex by 2 hours, or if this schedule seems like just too much of a hassle, then daily dosing is probably better for you. How do I get my hands on PrEP? Well, if you have a Medicare card, you can access PrEP at a subsidised cost. You get a script from your GP, and any pharmacy should be able to dispense it. If you don't have a Medicare card, you can buy it online. Make sure you do your research and you choose a reliable supplier, but you'll still need a script from your GP. What is PrEP? PrEP is an antiretroviral drug that you take when you are HIV negative to prevent you from getting HIV. It's highly effective when used as prescribed. And there are 2 ways of taking it, like I said, daily dosing and on demand. To take PrEP, you must be HIV negative and you must have an HIV test prior to commencing. PrEP is effective in protecting you from HIV, but it doesn't protect you against any other sexually transmitted disease or STD. If you're taking PrEP, it's highly recommended that you get regular STD tests. 4 times a year should do it, so every 3 months. And your PrEP prescriber should be able to provide this service for you. You can visit the PrEP Access Now website for any further information. That's P for PrEP, A for Access, N for Now, PAN.org.au. The other thing I wanted to talk about in relation to HIV is U equals U, or undetectable equals untransmittable. It surprises me that today, in 2020, I still have clients who come across people who believe all sorts of myths and experience stigma around living with HIV. One of the biggest myths is that if someone who is HIV positive has been sticking to their HIV medication and whose viral load has become so low that it is no longer able to be detected, i.e. undetectable or undetectable viral load, i.e. UVL, that they can still infect you with HIV. This is simply not possible and is a load of utter bollocks. And this is what the U equals U campaign is all about. Basically, if someone is HIV positive and has a consistently undetectable viral load for at least 6 months, and you have raw or unprotected sex with them, they cannot, and I repeat, cannot, pass on HIV to you. Unfortunately, today I still get a lot of clients who are undetectable, who are terrified of disclosing their HIV status to prospective partners because their prospective partners are scared of catching HIV. In 2016, there was a European study called Partner that involved couples where one had a UVL, undetectable viral load. Despite 22,000 acts of condomless sex being recorded, there was 0 partner transmissions. An extension to that study called Partner 2 that involved a further 54,000 acts of condomless sex also found 0 transmissions. Meanwhile, here in Australia, the Kirby Institute led an international study across Australia, Brazil, and Thailand called the Opposites Attract study that came up with exactly the same results. So basically, altogether, from over 89,000 acts of condomless sex, there were 0 transmissions of HIV from people who had a partner with a UVL. So I hope this has answered a few questions or fears around HIV. There's always more questions to ask, so please, guys, keep them coming. Thanks again for listening. Click the like button, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, and please send me more questions. I always love questions. Anything that you've got around everything sex. So thanks again, guys. Look after yourselves, look after each other, and I'll see you next time. See you.